Okay, as I yesterday mentioned that my background is in technological university, so that gives sort of some kind of a frame for my perspective. And even I am working in Lappeenranta at the University of Technology, my background is in arts education. So the working title of this, my sub-study, is Turning to Learning Through Arts-Based Initiatives. This title holds the main idea of this sub-study, the topic of which is the use of arts-based initiatives in leading the multi-professional co-creation of public service for young people. The term turning to learning is used to highlight the emphasis in this approach on relational educational process rather than short-term toolbox solutions. And here I am also talking to my colleagues in technological university in this specific sentence. And instead of reaching directly for existing methods to apply to complex problems, arts-based initiatives are used to formulate questions that begin to identify the problems. This is done through making visible the assumptions held about self, other, and organizations' infrastructure. The research partner is the Center of Economic Development, Transport and Environment, so-called ELY Center, ELY-keskus in Finnish. And specifically leaders in a project called Kohtaamo and Ohjaamo. In English, these Kohtaamo and Ohjaamo can be called or translated a room for encounter and a control room or the cockpit in the airplane. The names themselves sort of provoke me to think in terms of power and social relations and ways of organizing. And just sort of a brief background about the ELY centers, especially those who are not original from Finland. ELY centers are responsible for the regional implementation and development tasks of the central government. There is 15 ELY centers in Finland, and them are under the Ministry of Employment and the Economy. And this sort of itself gives quite a complex structure for this study. So, my research partner is one of these ELY centers. It is the Central Finland ELY Center, and these Kohtaamo and Ohjaamo projects and leaders in these projects. And this process, Kohtaamo project, coordinates the development and design process of a new public service model for young people between 16 to 29 years of old. And the task of this project is to design and through pilots implement easily approachable drop-in public services all over Finland. So the research problem in this sub-study is focused on leadership in co-creation of multi-professional teams and ways equality is performed. This leads to research question how equality is assumptions, leader identity, practices and social relations in everyday work practices of co-creations between leader and team members, leader and stakeholders, leader as a role of a service provider, and customer as a service user. In a broader sense, this is linked to social and organizational innovations in the field of public social healthcare in Finland. And my specific interest is in a combination of arts-based initiatives and social and organizational innovations, which leads to another level of research questions. How can arts-based initiatives be used in service user-centered ways when designing public services, and what kind of a relational system is this part of? So, because of this complexity, already sort of emerged from the research that the research partners call this thing as himmeli. I don't know how to translate it in English, but it's really like a 3-4 dimensional complex thing. This is why I'm using critical reflection and ethnodrama as a research, as well as arts-based action learning method in this study. A method where the focus is on what comes out rather than outcomes. Because of the complex nature of this research phenomenon, I have invited 17 individual experts to join this research as a critical friends. There are 9 scholars and 8 practitioners, and then there are 2 groups of young and unemployed persons. So through this I'm sort of trying to cover the field of arts, radical arts pedagogies, equality, gender, youth education, youth work, critical management studies, work-based learning and user-centered innovation. And the main theoretical cornerstones are organizing reflection and creating a third space for practical reflexivity, dialogical organizational development, and innovation and arts pedagogies. And this arts pedagogies in organizational development is quite sort of a new thing. And it's sort of a opening that is really inspiring. At least I think so. So at the end of this action-based research process, all research actors, me and Ohjaamo leaders, Kohtaamo leaders, will have co-created and implemented an organizational turning to learning arts pedagogical model or path or process where the collective voicing of customers as community capital is accepted per se. This model will be also pilot tested in Sweden and England and hopefully in Denmark. Thank you.